Well, number one, make sure you're talking to someone experienced. Now, that goes for lawyers and agents. A good tip with agents is to look at their registration number. The first two digits of their number tells you the year they were first registered. So if their number starts with 08, then they were originally registered as an agent in 2008. It doesn't necessarily tell you much beyond that, but at least you know they've been practicing for some time. It is a little bit more difficult with lawyers, but you can go to any of the state or territory law society websites and see if they at least hold a practicing certificate. Number two would be get your advice in writing and get a second opinion. Now, that's what Time for Advice is all about. You can send through your written advice, you can upload it to the platform and make sure that you've been properly advised by getting a second opinion. Everything starts with that initial advice and mapping out a solid plan. If you start from a really poor foundation, then issues will arise, and at times these are really costly to correct. Three, if your migration agent recommends you to study on a student visa, then immediately get a second opinion. Many agents are also education agents, and they get paid a commission by colleges and universities to sign you up to a course. They get paid a percentage of your tuition fees, so it's not in their financial interest to necessarily advise you on the fastest way to residency. Over the years, this has been one of the most common issues where clients have been put on student visas that they did not need. Now, considering international study could cost you $10,000 to $20,000 a year, it's also a very costly issue. Number four, look, unless you've got some really complex issue, then file the application yourself. Even if you do have a complex issue, file the application yourself and only hire someone to deal with the issue. It's all data transfer, otherwise you can do it yourself. Number five, if it sounds too good to be true, then it probably is. Agents will often tell you just what you want to hear to get you to commit funds. If you've sought out several opinions and most people are telling you one thing and all of a sudden you find someone else that tells you exactly what you want to hear, then be very careful, because you've been told that advice probably only for one reason. Six, don't put yourself under any time pressure. Time pressure and visa applications just do not go together. Create breathing space and make sure that you're moving at a very comfortable pace. Seven, even if you engage an agent or a lawyer, make sure you have access to the application once it's been filed. Most applications are filed through an IMI account, and the agent can share that if you have your own IMI account. Or at the very least, they can download a PDF copy of the application and send it to you. 8, under the Code of Conduct, an agent must issue a written agreement for the work to be performed. So make sure your agreement is fixed with no extra charges, and that all the work to be done is clearly defined. 9, if you're applying for a family visa, make sure you are quoted a price that covers the entire family unit. Many agents will tell you at the last minute, when your time may be extremely limited, that their fees were for you alone and impose an extra fee for your partners and children. It's often too late for you to make any change, and you have no choice but to pay the fee. And 10, never hand over your original documents to an agent, and certainly never hand over your passport. It's very common for us to have clients who have been held to ransom by agents, who have had their passport and will not return unless a fee's paid. That's my top 10 tips.